Boots Ennis, what a great fight. You are a machine. Zayas, a little inexperienced, but you will be back. You're a great fighter. Let's make the biggest fight in boxing today. Vergil Ortiz, Boots Ennis, let's go.
This is a great fight. I think it is going to be a great fight.
Yeah, that's what I think we're going to
I just don't know if that.
That's a hell of a fight, though.
We going to get the fight, man.
That's a hell of a fight, though.
Somehow, every fan's biggest story was Jaron Boots Ennis knocking out Xander Zayas. Think again. Because according to fans, that may have been only the opening scene of a much bigger boxing drama that nobody saw coming. And just when everyone was celebrating another huge victory, Oscar De La Hoya walked in with comments that completely changed the conversation.
How much we need that fight and boxing needs that fight. So we must make Boots against Ortiz, but realistically, will he do it next? We'll speak to DAZN and Oscar, and if they want to go, we'll consider it with Boots.
That the man already told you, hey, it's time. You told us that's what was next. If you avoid that and don't do that, you're gonna lose a lot of respect from a lot of people, and I might be one of them. Cause you acting like
Vergil Ortiz.
You better believe it. You act like you was up for the challenge. Everybody knows that like Boots said, it's time for him. Everybody wants to see Boots against a real opponent. Vergil, you're peak.
Suddenly, it wasn't about what Boots had already done. It was about what he was supposedly willing to do next. And if online speculation is even close to reality, this could become one of the wildest storylines boxing has seen in years. But wait.
Comments online from Vergil Ortiz saying he would sleep. Boots Ennis is what he wrote.
It's all very, Vergil's been out of the game for a long time. If Vergil really wants to fight Boots next, we'll definitely consider it. I think he's going to want a warm-up fight. He's not going to come back till September, October. He would have been out of the ring for a year. Boots will...
Are you saying you're open to doing that?
Yes,
September?
yeah, absolutely. Listen, I really rate Vergil. Vergil going into a Boots fight now, he'll get absolutely destroyed. I'm sorry. But he's been dropped before. Like, you don't realise that. I mean, Xander got hurt bad so many times tonight, but he's got a granite chip. I mean, he's so tough. But listen, Vergil's a great fighter. But Boots is, as he said in the press conference, about the legs.
This is where everything starts getting strange. Reports suggest Oscar didn't waste time talking about easy fights or safe options. Instead, fans immediately noticed one name being pushed over and over again: Vergil Ortiz Jr.
Would fight like that in order to come out of his shell. Is that maybe?
You won't see Boots in a bad fight for the rest of his career. He'll never want a voluntary defence. He wants big fights, big money, big belts, big moments. See that tonight? How's the body of work? Yeah? That's boxing, mate. Stick your garage up your ass, right? Stick your fake belts up your ass. Stick all this up your ass. That is real boxing. The best be the best. 16,000 in the Barclays.
Not tomorrow, not eventually, right now. And that's exactly where the internet exploded. Because according to many fans, this wasn't just another post-fight interview. It almost felt like the opening move in a massive chess match happening in front of everyone. Breaking, at least according to the internet. People instantly started connecting dots that may or may not even belong together. One side claimed Boots had finally reached the level where nobody could question him anymore.
You know, and going back to the comments, someone said, ask Vergil Ortiz if he'll take the fight next, because I don't think he will. And I'd be very surprised because, and by the way, I don't necessarily blame him because he has been out. When was the Lubin fight? I don't know. November last year. So, what are we now? 9 months, 8 months, 9 months. Time he gets in the ring again won't be till September, October. It'll be nearly a year since he's boxed. Are you going to go straight into Jaron Boots Ennis? If you are, let's talk. But realistically, I don't think you are. I think you're going to come back and you're going to go, oh, I want one more fight, and then, which is fine. And by the way, we're also not going to sit here and go, we're the champion now. It's a voluntary defence, 15% for a voluntary defence, like you've seen Haney and all these people do. It's like so boring. It's a massive fight, and I can't sit there and tell you that we shouldn't do that fight when I spent.
The other side fired back saying, if he's really that guy, then Ortiz is waiting. Suddenly, every comment section looked like two fan bases preparing for war. And here's the twist nobody expected. Instead of shutting the conversation down, more voices started joining it. That's when the momentum completely changed.
came out and said that he was going to sleep you. So I just want to know your comments on those.
Why he ain't take the fight in the beginning? You know what I'm saying? Bro, I ain't be talking, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to tell you, I'm really different. He gonna see firsthand. Cause he gets hurt a lot. He flat-footed and he been dropped multiple times. When he get hit by me, it's gonna be different.
Suddenly, this wasn't one opinion anymore. It became the topic everyone wanted to argue about. And every new interview somehow made the mystery even bigger instead of clearing it up. Now here's where things become even more interesting. Eddie Hearn stepped into the discussion, and fans immediately began analyzing every word. Some viewers believed he sounded excited about the matchup.
For sure, a lot of people that thought, oh, Boots could easily dominate Sayas, oh, he'll easily dominate Ortiz. Now they're gonna think, man, him against Ortiz is gonna be a war, a beautiful fight. So it brings more attention to the fans to push for this fight, promoters to work together and make this fight happen because of what Woods showed last night. You know, besides him also getting hit and getting tagged and maybe getting stunned and a couple of times, but he showed heart, he showed power. So that's one thing that people love, fans love. So I think that this performance makes the bigger fights against Ortiz or other big names even more interesting.
Others believed he was looking at the bigger picture, and that's where another layer appeared. Because while everyone kept shouting Ortiz next, another name quietly refused to disappear: Sebastian Fundora. Wait, so which path actually matters more? The massive fan-friendly showdown, or the championship road that builds an even bigger legacy? Suddenly the answer wasn't so obvious anymore.
Jaron Boots Ennis gets knocked out if he faces Vergil Ortiz. This is what Vergil Ortiz is saying after Jaron Boots Ennis became a champion by defeating unified Xander.
But don't click away, because another twist arrived before anyone could agree. Social media did what social media always does. It poured gasoline on the fire. Fans started reposting interviews, screenshots, reactions, predictions, and bold opinions until nobody could even tell where the original conversation ended and the online speculation began.
To Jaron Ennis saying he would knock him out, Vergil Ortiz further stated, "If I get him," meaning Boots, "like that, I promise you I get him out of there." But notice he put "if I get." Styles make fights, you know what I mean? Now, earlier in the day or week or whatever it was, he did pick Jaron Ennis by 4th round knockout, and he thought if Xander fights smart and moves, maybe he can frustrate Jaron, and then Jaron will win by a KO in the 10th. So he picked the right person. Now he believes that if he were to fight against Boots, that there can only...
1 minute, Boots was being praised as unstoppable. The next minute, people were saying Ortiz had exactly the style needed to make everything uncomfortable. Then someone else flipped the entire debate again. Styles make fights. 4 simple words, and suddenly every prediction looked completely different. Breaking. According to online reactions,
while Vergil Ortiz was doing his post-fight interview, and they went back and forth. And I don't know, normally when you see something like that, you walk away from the TV or wherever you're watching the fight, and you have a lot of confidence that that's gonna be the next fight. Based on some of the things that were said, they're arguing about who started it and whose father did what. And then I heard Boots, you know, basically hypothetically say to Eddie Hearn, "Where's the paperwork?" In other words, where's the contract? Let's sign the contract. So I don't know if he was just, if that's a hypothetical, he's just saying that, or the contract really hasn't been signed. But Roy, I don't know if that fight is gonna be next, because after the fight, I hear you and I see you.
People weren't even arguing about records anymore. They were arguing about pressure versus precision, relentless aggression versus slick movement, controlled chaos versus calculated confidence. And somehow every fan believed they had already solved the puzzle, except nobody actually agreed on the ending. Then came another moment that made the entire story even louder.
The best option to make us, to let us figure out all the answers that we want to know about Boots Ennis. and you're gonna go say about Earl Spence and somebody else, we don't want to hear that. I definitely don't want to hear that. You told us on national TV after the fight that you wanted to do exactly what that man said. That man told you, well, that's what I want to see.
Reports suggest Ortiz responded with complete confidence, and that confidence immediately became headline material. Of course, confidence isn't unusual in boxing. Every elite fighter believes they can win. But fans weren't reacting because someone believed in themselves. They were reacting because the back and forth suddenly felt personal. Not disrespectful, just intensely competitive.
And coming at him.
Both ways.
That's gonna. It's both ways, but I think it's the speed, the way that Boots uses his speed is different from the way that Ortiz. I think Ortiz has the call on his speed. You know what I mean by that?
No.
So what I mean by call on his speed, like, you have guys who are just fluidly boom, 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 boom. Then you got other guys like Ortiz, fights with a lot of power, but now I gotta pull back on his power and set you up with the speed. You know, like, he has to be intentional and be selective with what he chooses to punch with. And on the other side, Boots is like water, man. He goes from the speed to the power. He goes from the left to the right.
The leverage.
He goes, he switch hits, you know.
Athletic.
Yeah.
Just defense. He does it with no defense.
Every new quote added another layer to the growing storyline. Then Boots answered, calm, confident, unshaken. Instead of backing away from the conversation, he reportedly made it clear that he also sees weaknesses in the matchup. That's when comment sections officially lost control. Suddenly, nobody wanted to talk about what had already happened inside the ring. Everyone wanted to imagine what might happen if these two ever shared one. And honestly, that's exactly what promoters dream about. But hold on, because another rumor started making the rounds online, and this one made fans question everything again. Some viewers began saying that maybe this fight wasn't actually as impossible as people thought. Others pointed toward earlier discussions between both camps and suggested the interest had existed before. Important word, suggested.
It's not gonna happen, but I do think that people outprice themselves sometimes. Yeah. Whether it's to duck or whether they feel like they deserve more genuinely or what, I really don't know. But
yeah, because people have value. You have value. I'm worth a certain amount. Is there a number that you would say, nah, that's too low?
2 million.
That's too low.
Too low.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Just wanted to see, where you were at. Has anybody ever outpriced themselves to fight you?
Not to my knowledge. No, I don't think so.
You really hands off with the business.
Yeah, I really am.
Well, at least he revealed a little bit, right? 2 million a fight, Boots is too low.
Yeah, and I think that's fair.
Right, yeah, I believe.
According to what you've already received.
Yes.
Do you feel like Boots belongs on the top pound for pound right now?
Because nobody outside those negotiations truly knows every detail. Still, the speculation alone kept growing bigger by the hour. Then another fake breaking news interruption hit social media. This changes everything, people shouted. Did it really? Maybe, maybe not. But it definitely made the conversation impossible to ignore. Every interview suddenly sounded like it contained hidden clues. Every smile looked intentional. Every pause became something fans wanted to analyze frame by frame. Was somebody revealing more than they intended? Or was the internet simply doing what it always does, turning ordinary moments into blockbuster mysteries? That's the question nobody could answer. Meanwhile, another surprising twist appeared. Instead of
Fundora, he's a unified champion, right? He got a couple of belts. But Vergil Ortiz, he doesn't have a belt, but he has a name. Which one do you think would be a bigger fight?
Between who?
You and one of them. Vergil or Vergil or Fundora?
I feel like that kind of like even out. Because Fundora got the belt, but Vergil kind of like got somewhat of a name. But I feel like, then again.
What Eddie said was, they went back to you, you signed. You said you were in.
I signed like that.
In, no problems, no questions, nothing.
Nope.
They went back to Vergil, this is what he said, and they were like, we're gonna do our fight and then we're gonna revisit this. Is that what you're hearing as well?
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. That's understandable though. You gotta stay on task of what's in front of you, and not overlook nobody.
But you agreed before your fight.
Yeah, I did, but I still was locked in on Lima. Even when people was asking me about the Ortiz situation, I wouldn't even say nothing about it. I'd be like, October 11th.
Everyone saying one fighter would dominate the other. Respected voices around boxing reportedly started describing the matchup as dangerous for both men. That's important. because dominant champions usually get treated like overwhelming favorites. Here, the discussion felt different. Every compliment for Boots immediately came with a warning about Ortiz. Every compliment for Ortiz immediately came with praise for Boots. It became an endless cycle where both fighters somehow looked stronger every time someone tried to pick a winner. Then fans started replaying moments from the recent fight over and over again. Every successful exchange became proof for one side. Every difficult moment became proof for the other. Suddenly, everyone was an expert analyst. Every slow-motion clip became evidence. Every angle supposedly revealed something new, and that's when the conversation stopped being about highlights and started becoming about possibilities. Here's another twist you probably didn't expect. The louder the debate became, the more valuable the fight itself seemed to become. According to online discussions, people weren't just asking if the fight could happen anymore. They started asking whether boxing could actually afford for it not to happen. That's a completely different conversation, because now expectations had entered the room, and expectations can become very loud. Breaking fan theories reached another level. Some believed the timing was perfect. Others insisted patience would make the event even bigger. Then someone suggested that chasing championship belts first could make an eventual showdown even more massive. Suddenly, there wasn't one storyline anymore. There were 3 different futures competing against each other. Legacy, championships, mega fight. Which one wins? Nobody knows. Then came another moment that fans immediately clipped and shared everywhere. Boots reportedly reminded people that he had no problem accepting difficult challenges. That single talking point instantly reshaped another part of the narrative. Instead of asking who wanted the fight more, discussions shifted toward timing, business decisions, and the reality that boxing's biggest events often depend on many moving pieces. Not exactly as dramatic as social media wants, but somehow even more intriguing. And here's where the conspiracy-style storytelling really kicks in. Imagine this for a second. Every interview, every reaction, every tweet, every podcast appearance, every promoter comment, none of them actually answers the question completely. Instead, each one adds another tiny piece to a puzzle that still isn't finished. That's why fans keep coming back, because every new clip feels like it could finally reveal the missing piece, until another twist appears 5 minutes later. And this is where things get even crazier. According to online speculation, both sides appear completely confident. Think about that for a second. Usually somebody sounds hesitant. Usually somebody asks for more time. Usually somebody avoids the conversation. Here, both names continue appearing together over and over again. That's exactly why excitement refuses to disappear. Then another fake breaking news moment. Social media declares the fight is inevitable. Is it? Nobody actually knows. But the reaction itself says everything. The demand is real. The curiosity is real. The debate is very real. Every day without official confirmation somehow creates even more discussion instead of less. Ironically, the waiting might be making the story even bigger. And just when you think you've figured everything out, another possibility enters the chat. What if everyone has been looking at this completely backwards? What if this isn't really about proving who's tougher? What if it's about building the biggest possible event at exactly the right moment? Fans are saying the business side and the sporting side may finally be pointing toward the same destination. Or maybe that's just another theory. That's the beauty of boxing discussions. You never really know until contracts are signed and the opening bell rings. So, after all the interviews, all the reactions, all the confident statements, all the fan theories, all the endless debates, one mystery still survives. Not who wins, not who hits harder, not who deserves it more. The biggest mystery is whether everything we've watched over the past few days has been separate moments, or the first chapters of one much larger story that's still unfolding. Because if even half of the online speculation turns out to point in the right direction, then what looked like an ordinary post-fight celebration may actually be remembered as the exact moment boxing's next blockbuster quietly began. Or maybe, just maybe, everyone has been following the obvious clues while the real surprise has been hiding somewhere else the entire time. So now the question belongs to you. If Boots and Ortiz finally stand across from each other, does that settle the debate once and for all? Or is the biggest twist still waiting to happen?